now. We won't forget it, but we've talked about it enough, and I think it's time to move on. I think the pluses, and I always like to take pluses from all experiences, the pluses of the Amir Khan fight was a chance for Paul to perform on a world stage. And although it finished in disappointing circumstances, one thing he showed to a lot of people is that he can certainly do that, which we knew in the first place. The second thing, which we will never ever forget, is the support that we received from you guys and from the Irish public in the build-up and on the night of the Amir Khan fight. I mean, I'm sure Paul's got a lot of memories from the night, but for me, walking out that night and just seeing the sea of fans across the whole back of the arena, just even talking about it now makes the hairs on the back of my neck stand up, and it's something I'll never forget. And if I enjoyed it, God knows what must have been going through Paul McCloskey's mind when he walked out to see the support. What that support has really shown us is that Paul McCloskey is a huge name in Ireland and very popular. And when you get support like that, and this is from my perspective as well, not just for Paul's, we want to try and give something back, and we want to try and come back and do a big homecoming fight. And it was important to us to select an opponent that was worthy of such a huge fight. Something that always stuck in my mind after that horrible press conference after the fight was Amir Khan saying, "Go out and beat the people who I've beat and I'll give you a rematch." Well, we decided to go one better and go out and beat the person that knocked him spark out. So whilst we always try and put the Khan fight out of our mind, we felt that this was a great opponent. But forget the reason that being one of the reasons why this is a great fight. The other reason is this is a fight of huge profile. It's a fight that will create massive exposure for Paul McCloskey. Live on Sky Sports, delighted to be back. Was really disappointed not to be on Sky last time. We're back where Paul's been fighting for a long time. Live on Sky, they're going to be getting behind this show in a big way. But I just felt that this is a fight that once we get through it and win, there's really no way we can be turned down for opportunities. And we're delighted to be working with the WBA as an official eliminator for this fight. It's very important to us. But in my opinion, this is a fight that once you win, you can fight for any world title. Because as a champion, you're always looking at potential opponents who can bring something to the table. And when people tune in here and see 10,000 people banging out the Odyssey Arena, you know, they're going to be gobsmacked. And believe me, there will be 10,000 people here on September the 10th. So really, what our aim is to do is to put on one hell of a show for the Irish fans. We're already talking, and I know that it's already been discussed about Frampton against Martinez. We're very close with that fight now. I'd like to state, and I've read in various places that Carl Frampton apparently doesn't want that fight. Carl Frampton 100% wants that fight, and I think we're going to make it happen. We've just got to sort out a few nuts and bolts with Kiko Martinez, but that would be one hell of a chief support on the night. And I just really ask the people of Ireland, and obviously Dungiven especially, to come back and support Doody, because I know you will. And I think we can create an extra special atmosphere here on the night. You know, we've done a number of shows in Ireland before, and the atmosphere is second to none. I know Eamon's been involved with some himself, but I think that what we're going to put on is a celebration of Irish boxing and a celebration of Doody coming home, and I think he deserves a fair crack of the whip here. And in my opinion, we've set up the perfect fight for him. You know, it's an opportunity for him to silence certain critics, but more importantly, an opportunity to catapult himself into contention for another world title shot. And on winning this fight, there is no doubt that another world title shot will happen immediately. So from Paul, he's now got to go and get his head round the opponent. He's got to go into camp and train and prepare just as hard as he did for the Amir Khan fight, because this is a huge fight for Paul McCloskey, a huge fight. It's one he can't afford to lose. It's one we don't believe he'll lose. But he's got to go away and prepare for a very, very tough, hungry Breidis Prescott, a man himself who believes he should fight Amir Khan again. And he's someone who's looking for a world title shot, just like Paul. He's in the same position, very close to each other in the official WBA rankings. But, you know, it's going to be a tough, tough fight. But Paul's at the level where every fight is a tough fight. He's a world-class fighter operating at a world-class level. And Breidis Prescott, again, the absolute perfect opponent. For a perfect, huge marquee fight in Belfast. The tickets, from our perspective, from Ticketmaster, will go on sale on Thursday at 9 AM. I know that Marty and Francie are going to be working. They're going to make an announcement on their website tomorrow and tickets go on sale with them tomorrow night. And we're starting the prices at £30. Obviously we had a great fun with the cons on the tickets, and no one really got a chance to get those cheap tickets. So again, it's about giving something back to the Irish fans. I think even now I can't believe how many fans came over. Flights, boats, beer money, hotels, phenomenal. You know, the beer money was the most important thing, because I saw a lot of them. And when you get support like that, which probably outweighs most of the Premiership football travelling support, it shows you that you've got a special guy in Paul McCloskey and a special fighter. And I cannot wait. We've been out there today with Francie and Martin, just looking around the arena. And again, you get the same chills down your spine when you just imagine, you know, the 4,000 or 5,000 that were in Manchester. You double that, and you think about the atmosphere on September the 10th, and it's just going to be mouth-watering. Something that I think we'll never forget. And again, I just urge Irish fans to get behind Doody. And you know, come out, and we've got to get this Doody army on the march again. You know, I know we all say it, but it's great. It is the Doody army. You know, and we're gunning for another world title fight, and we're going to get it. And this is the perfect fight to do so. So, I know Paul might want to just say a few words, and then we're going to go break to one-on-ones and any questions. So, Paul, your thoughts on the fight?
I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, say Breidis Prescott is the perfect fight. As you say afterwards in the press comments, the post-fight press comments, Amir was a bit harsh about things, and his whole attitude towards things wasn't great, you know, but he did say afterwards, he says, beat all the boys that I beat, and then you can shout for a rematch, you know. So as you said, we're going to go for the boy to actually beat him, and see where we go after that, you know. So obviously, Breidis Prescott, I've seen him fight, I know what he's capable of doing. He's a dangerous fighter, he's a hungry fighter, as Eddie says, and that's the kind of boys I want to chase now. I could go for easier fights, but I want to get straight back in there as soon as possible, and there's no better way of doing that than beating the good fighters out there. So obviously the support's going to be a big factor too. Over in Manchester, I didn't feel like I was an away fighter. I felt like a home fighter because the support I had was unreal. So I expect to have the same kind of support here, and obviously will hopefully push me over the line. You know? So I'm looking forward to getting straight into camp now. I've been into it now for about 4 or 5 weeks. I'm not in bad shape at the minute, and I'm looking forward to getting into camp and getting some of the best shape possible to do a good job in Breidis Prescott. So, thanks.
Questions, guys?
It's a world title eliminator. Is that for Khan or for what? Where does it work?
Well, you know the situation with the WBA at the moment, which is Amir Khan's fighting Zab Judah for the Super Championship of the WBA.
Yeah.
So Madonna will fight for the vacant WBA title.
Mm.
So this is an eliminator for effectively for the WBA title. It's not an eliminator for Amir Khan. You know, Amir Khan talks about moving up to 147,
yeah,
which I think he'll probably do, to be honest with you. And he's already said he'll fight Judah. Then apparently he'll fight Morales in a defence. I think he'd be mad to overlook Judah. I think it's a real tough fight. You know, and who knows? We can't spend our life trying to chase Amir Khan.
So even taking Breidis isn't the direct sort of trying a route to get back to Khan?
Not really, and I don't think we should spend our life trying to do that. I think we've got to spend our life trying to achieve our dreams, and our dream is to be a world champion, not to fight Amir Khan. You know, we don't go to bed every night saying, "Oh, please let me fight Amir Khan again." We go to bed every night saying, "Please let me be world champion." You know, and again, we'll always talk about the Amir Khan fight because it was huge controversy, but we need to look beyond that, and we needed to come up with an opponent that makes people stand up and listen, and that is why Breidis Prescott. Of course, he's linked to Amir Khan. He knocked Amir Khan's spark out. We all know that, you know, and that's sweet in itself that he is now an opponent. And listen, when we beat him, we'll be able to stand up and call from the rooftops for Amir Khan. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. When he sees what we're bringing to the table in terms of Sky Television and 10,000 people here at the Odyssey, you know, maybe he'll lick his lips and come back and want some more money. But again, whether it's Madonna or any of the other champions, that's what I'm saying about the profile of this fight. Just because it's a WBA eliminator doesn't rule out the other governing bodies. When people see what Paul McCloskey brings to the table, we can fight any champion. And 100% after this victory, Paul will fight for a world title, whether it's WBA or it's Amir Khan, Marcus Madonna, the other champions. It's irrelevant. But we need that title, we need that shot. And this was the fight that I believe will get us there faster than any other. So in that respect, it was the perfect fight.
What chance of that fight coming to Belfast?
Which one?
The next? The one after the next when he beats...
Yeah, listen, I think they're depending on who the champion and who the challenger is. You know, these fights are all about money, and money can be created. Again, when someone turns on a television, a promoter in America, and sees 10,000 fans in an arena live on Sky, you know that this fighter brings something to the table. You know, our relationships now with the American promoters are very good. We've made some big fights over the last 2 or 3 weeks. And again, we're already talking, you know, to champions from Paul's division to try and make the fight beyond the Prescott fight. Paul's got to stay focused on the job in hand. You know, but our job is, once we get this victory out of the way, to go straight for a world title. And whoever it is, we'll be ready. Khan will be lovely, but if it's not, we'll go for the others and we'll get there. But this is the one that gives us the chance. This is the fast track straight to the world title.
Paul, have you almost resigned yourself that the rematch with Khan won't happen? Is that just put out of your head?
Well, it could happen, but it won't happen in the next fight, or the fight after that. I'm probably sure that he's already talking about going up to 147 and unifying and fighting Floyd Mayweather and all this crack, you know. So I think they might never actually get to fight him, because I think if he's fighting about talking about fighting them boys, I think he'll get beat very soon, you know. So I've just kind of, for me, it's not about fighting Americans, but it's about being a world champion. I don't care if I have to fight King Kong, Mickey Mouse, whatever, you know. I'd fight anybody for a world title, you know. It's not about Americans, it's about fighting for a world title.
What is your opinion on the Judah-Khan fight? How do you see it?
Just, it all depends on circumstances. If Khan's taking it lightly, Judah could actually spring a surprise, and he seems rejuvenated now underneath Daniel Whitaker, so it's going to be an interesting one. I think if Khan is taking it lightly, which he has a tendency to do sometimes, it could be a banana skin for him.
We have a very close relationship with Kathy Duva. She's been a friend of my father's for years and years and years, and they've been in regular contact throughout the Khan negotiations and shared some amusing stories together. If Judah wins, it's a fight we can definitely make. Definitely. You know, it's a fight that we can make a lot easier than the Amir Khan fight, so of course we want Judah to win.
Were we ever able to get to the bottom, and we were a lot of us were that night, what exactly the referee did do, how or why? We never really did get an explanation.
Not really. There's a lot of unanswered questions still, and unfortunately, when you've got a situation with a referee or a doctor, effectively their opinion matters beyond everybody else's opinion. And if in their opinion the cut was too bad, or their opinion the actions that they took were the right thing to do, it's very difficult to argue. The British Boxing Board of Control, to be fair to them, wrote to the WBA and spoke with a referee and spoke with their doctor, and they basically come back with the same issues. Our main, you know, queries were, why did the referee call the doctor into the ring? Well, there's nothing in the rules that says he can't do that. It's just very strange. Why did he call the doctor from Amir Khan's corner rather than Paul McCloskey's corner? Why did they not give the cornerman a chance to work on a cut? Again, we can go over this a million times. We've asked the questions, we've been given some answers, but again, you get to a stage where you think, what are we going to do? The fight's over. We can't, no one's going to insist on a rematch. That's not going to happen. So we have to, you know, pursue an alternative. And the WBA have come back and they've, you know, this is an eliminator status, which we're delighted and thankful.